my dear friend. Do you know that you can be completely free from the crazy ongoing rat race of this society and this culture? Do you know that at any point in time, today, 500 years ago, and 500 years from now, you can always connect to an eternal truth that has nothing to do with the current matrix of society? Do you know that it's one of the most important things to do if you want real freedom? You know, one of the things that struck me after awakening was that I just realized, it was simply, a falling away of so many concepts, so many constructs that I believed I should live by. One of the things that struck me was, wow, I can literally prioritize my life in the way that I deem valuable, that I deem truthful. You see, we take it for granted that we wake up in the morning and go to work. We work 5 or 6 days a week, and in the leftover time, we maybe meet up with friends, we do some things that we like, a certain hobby, and that's our life. Copy, paste, repeat, repeat, repeat. At one point I realized, no, this is an automatic movement. It is not a reality. You see, Matrix points at a certain conditioning that runs automatically without us realizing that it's just a conditioning. We take it for granted as a given, as a reality, something one has to follow. But awakening reveals to you, no, you're not part of any construct. You're not part of any matrix. You're free. Even if 1 million people tell you that you should do this or that, you should work a lot, you should work at least 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, you should bring this and that amount of money, and you deem it not true for yourself, then you do not need to do that. And this is not an act of rebellion. This is an act of wisdom and freedom. Rebellion is for teenagers, not for adults. There's nobody we need to rebel against. Rebelling means you're still fighting the matrix, means you're part of the matrix. When you're free from the matrix, you're not fighting the matrix. You're not rebelling anymore. Rebellion is gone. You're simply silently and firmly doing what you prioritize as the most important thing. And what you prioritize as the most important thing has to come from the deepest place within you, from your depth, from your soul, from your being, from a deep listening to yourself. And yes, it will create some conflicts. Yes, it will create conflicts also with close people to you, with your family, maybe with your husband or wife or closest friends. Because the more you become an original being, a free being, an awakened being, nobody can really control you anymore. You simply become a natural phenomenon, and you can only act when life wants to act through and as you. And when life doesn't want to act in a certain way or a certain time, then you do not act. Many people will try to convince you again and again, because that's the movement of the matrix. The matrix is a self-preserving force, you see? And people, of course, also want to convince themselves, as long as they're caught up in the matrix, that they're doing the right thing. So they will try to convince you that you're doing the wrong thing so that they can feel reassured in what they are already doing. But the point is, you must listen to the truth, to the living truth within. A matrix is a completely temporary conditioning. What people deemed as the trend 500 years ago has changed today and will change 500 years from now. So the matrix is a constant, stream of conceptual frameworks that we accept as a society, we live by, and we think it's reality, but it's not. And leaving the matrix is an important step in spiritual awakening and spiritual maturity. You see, for example, I don't like working so much. I'm a very productive person. Believe me, I'm not lazy at all. I'm super active. I practice many times a day, many times a week, karate, and go to the gym, and I help people and give sessions and give groups. And I do this all the time. But I do this with a lot of spaciousness in between. A lot of spaciousness. And it's super important for me to meet friends, to meet the people I love, to spend hours and hours with them and have deep conversations, deep, wise discussions, evolutionary discussions, evolutionary meetings. Sit for meditation. You see, because to me, this is simply more important. Why? Because that's my nature. That's what I deem as valuable and relevant. And I don't care if everybody tells me otherwise. And when I say I don't care, please don't get me wrong. I don't mean I'm rebelling and I don't mean I'm dismissive. I'm listening, but I simply have to do what I have to do. I follow what's natural. You see? You must become free. Unchain yourself from those shackles of the matrix. Become a free being, not a follower. You must be intelligent, discerning, sharp, crystal clear, courageous in heart. Courageous doesn't mean bungee jumping. It means following what is true no matter what, paying the price, not being afraid that your parents will not fully accept what you do and that your friends will not understand you, and that your colleagues will not understand you, and that your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband will not fully understand you. So go through it. Pay the price. There's nothing more worthwhile than living according to the truth. Living the truth, becoming the truth. That's the best thing that you can ever live through and for and as. Don't be afraid. Check this matrix that you're living in, this rat race that's going on. Ask yourself, is that the life that I want to live? Life is really precious, my friend. It goes away like this. Take your time to consider this seriously. Is this the life I want to live? And I'm not talking about all this, scene that's going on nowadays of living your dreams. Forget about living your dreams. You can play ping pong outside and it's maybe better than just working all day long. You can just plant some flowers and you know what I mean? And work in the garden, that's much better. That can be your beautiful destiny. It doesn't have to be something grandiose. But simply choose your life out of consciousness, out of awareness, out of freedom. And that is a life worth living, a life that is original, not duplicated, not replicated, not just copying from some kind of like given manuscript by society. Okay? Connect to your wisdom, trust your wisdom, free yourself, be intelligent. To your freedom, my friend.